Hey guys, Joanne here with Newegg TV. I'm here to do an overview on this NZXT Vulcan Crafted Series Enthusiast Micro ATX computer case. This case is a couple of years old, but it was a fan request, so let's get started. This case is made of steel with some plastic, and it measures 7 inches wide, 15 inches tall, and 16 inches deep. Up at the front, at the top, we have your 2 fan speed controllers. You can control up to 4 fans, 2 with each controller, and you get plenty of mesh grill for ventilation, 2 5¼ inch drive bays, 2 3.5 inch drive bays, and a pre-installed 120mm front fan. On the side, we have some ventilation holes. There are some on the other side as well, and a popped out mesh grill, so you get plenty of airflow, a mounting point for a 200mm fan, and if you don't install a 200mm fan, you get a CPU cooler height clearance of 6.5 inches. On the rear, we have a couple grommets to route your cables through or your water cooling tubes, and an LED on-off switch for the top LED fan, which I will go over in a little bit, and mounting points for an 80mm fan or a 92mm fan. Knockout for your input-output shield on your motherboard, 4 expansion slots, some more ventilation holes, and a bottom power supply mount. Finally, on this side, we also have a popped-out panel, so you get a little bit more of cable management space. At the top of the case, we have your power button, reset button, headphone microphone jacks, and we have 2 USB 2.0 ports and an eSATA port. Over here, we have a pre-installed 120mm orange LED fan and a mount for an additional 120mm fan. There are also 4 mounting points here where you can include this handle with non-slipped easy grip material. I like it, and it just goes on just like this. Take 4 screws and screw it into place. On the bottom, we have some raised rubberized feet to increase airflow as well as reduce vibration. A removable dust filter for where your power supply sits. One quick thing before we take a look at the right side is that the dual fan controllers that I mentioned at the beginning, they are 8-watt channel, so in case you're interested. Now for a look at the right side. So here we have a ginormous cutout for your aftermarket heatsink and plenty of tie-down points to organize your cables, a hole here as well as an area here to manage your cables. And now for a look at the interior. As you can see, this case is painted all in black, and it's compatible with Micro ATX and Mini ITX boards. I currently have the top fan and the front fan plugged into these headers that are labeled 2, so you'll know that it's for the number 2 fan speed controller, and we also have fan headers for the number 1 fan speed controller. And the top fan is also plugged into this LED on-off switch, so you can turn the LED on-off whenever you want. And I'm going to tilt this case. We get some rubber pads here to help reduce vibration for where your power supply sits, and a look at the front panel connectors. So right here we have your serial ATA connector for the eSATA port at the top of the case, and USB 2.0 connector, audio connector, and a bunch of your power reset and LED plugs. And this one here is, give me a second. This is the power LED as well as the 2-pin connector that goes with it, and your fan control Molex plug with pass-through. On this side, we have your 2 5¼ inch drive bays, 2 3.5 inch drive bays, and below that, mounting points or a mount for 2 3.5 inch drives. And you can remove this hard drive cage. One last thing is you get VGA clearance of 13.78 inches. Here's a look at the accessories included in the box. The handle I mentioned earlier with the 4 mounting screws. And here are your brackets for your 3.5 inch drives. Just mount them like this and slide them into the mount. And here we have several bags of other mounting screws. We have standoffs for your motherboard and motherboard PSU screws. We have your optical drive, screws, hard drive, as well as fan screws. One last thing is your user guide. Here's a demo of the case LED. It is orange. And I plugged in the front fan and the top fan to the fan speed controller, so here's a listen at max speed. That wraps up our overview on this NZXT Vulcan Micro ATX computer case. I'm Joanne, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our Newegg YouTube channel. Thanks for watching Newegg TV, and we'll see you next time.